Hi guys, today we're going to work on patterns, and specifically we're going to work on a checkerboard pattern. So what I have in front of me is I have a shape. For me, I made a heart. You can make a different kind of shape, but make your shape pretty simple. Maybe a geometric shape, which is a shape that has a name. So a circle, a heart, a square, a triangle, whatever you make sure it's a pretty simple shape. So that's why I chose the heart. It's a pretty easy shape to make. On top of and around my heart, I have what's called a checkerboard pattern. So it's where the colors alternate, and it goes from pink, blue, pink, blue, pink, blue, pink, blue, and it just kind of repeats itself. And then you'll notice when you get to the heart, I used two completely different colors than what I chose in the background. On top of my heart, I chose red and hot pink. So I made a pattern with my red and hot pink. So this is where it gets kind of tricky. So I'm going to walk you through just exactly how to start and what steps to take. So I wanted to show you this example that I have right here. I'm going to show you from the beginning, but this is a great example of how your lines do not have to be perfectly straight. As long as they're not crisscrossing the lines that are going the same direction, like these lines right here are horizontal lines, they're going left to right. As long as they don't overlap and crisscross, you should be good, and they don't have to be straight. So I will walk you through that part. But I like how this one is just a little bit different in how the lines aren't straight. It's not a true checkerboard. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my heart. And I chose a heart, like I said, because I feel like it's just a pretty easy pattern to work with. It's a pretty easy shape to draw. And I want you to notice that when I drew my heart, I made it nice and big. I wanted to fill up a good part of the page. I didn't make it down at the bottom. I didn't make it at the top, and there's not a lot of wasted space. I tried to fill the middle as best I could. So it's nice and big, and it's centered. So don't make a teeny, teeny, tiny heart. It'll make this really hard for you if you do that. So the first step, now that we've got our shape drawn, is we're going to actually draw some lines to make the checkerboard pattern. So we've got to have lines that are vertical, and we've also got to have lines that are horizontal. So you remember, vertical lines go up and down, so top to bottom. Horizontal lines, like a horizon line, are going to go left to right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of find the center of my page, and I'm going to draw a line. Oh, my pencil keeps breaking today. I'm going to draw a line down the middle. Notice I have the teeny, 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 tiniest curve to it, all the way down. I've got just a little bit of a curve. You can have a curve, but don't have anything too big. This is why you should never use mechanical pencils. There we go. I'm losing my lead. All right. So now I'm going to do a line on either side. So I don't want just one vertical line. I'm going to put two more. I'm going to put one on this side and one on this side. So all the way from the top of the page to the bottom, like so. So if you need to pause and make these lines yourself so that they're kind of spread out, don't make them too close together. You want them to kind of be spread out across your page. If you need to pause the video here and fix any lines, you don't want too many. It'll make it really, really hard if you have too many. So that's why I just stayed with 3. Pause the video and erase, and then kind of pick up where you left off when you get there. Now that I have my vertical lines, now I'm going to start working on my horizontal lines. So I want to do the same thing with my horizontal lines. I want to kind of find the middle and make a line like so. And then I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do 2 lines over here and 2 lines below. So again, I don't want to make them really close together. I want to kind of spread the lines out across here. So there's 1, and there's 2. So I'm going to do the same thing below my first line. I'm going to make 2 lines below, but I don't want to make them really, really close together. I want to kind of spread them out across the space that I have here in between my 2 fingers. So I think the next one I'm going to start about right here. And then the next one I'm going to start about right there. So again, they're not perfectly straight. Make sure that one shows up a little bit better. They're not perfectly straight, but they are spread out pretty good across my page. So now what I'm going to do, just to help you guys focus on the checkerboard pattern inside our shape, and inside our shape only, now I'm going to get a black crayon, and the only thing I'm going to trace is my heart. We can come back later and we can trace other lines if we really want to. But for right now, this black line with our crayon is going to act as a border. We are going to ignore everything else that's going on outside this black line. We want to ignore all of it right now. We don't want to worry about any of these lines out here. So what I have done is I've gotten 2 crayons. What did I grab? I grabbed Robin's Egg Blue and Sea Green. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start coloring. I'm just going to pick one color for the very first box that I do. So I'm going to pick Robin's Egg Blue first. So I'm going to start at the very bottom of my heart. And you guys know that I always like to outline my shapes that I'm coloring in so I can stay inside the lines. So this is a big box, but remember, instead of coloring outside my heart, because I actually want my heart to be different colors, I'm only going to color the part that's inside my heart. So I only used hot pink and red inside my shape here. And then I used baby blue and light pink on the outside. So I'm going to do the same thing with this project as well, with this side. So inside my heart, I'm just going to pick a square to get started. I picked Robin's Egg Blue, kind of a light teal color, turquoise. So in the box right next to it, then I'm going to use the opposite color. I'm going to use Sea Green. These are pretty similar. Hopefully you guys can tell the difference with the lighting in here. Sometimes it's hard to tell. So now what I want to do is now I have to do my next row, but I have to use the opposite color. So if I used Robin's Egg Blue right here, then I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to use Sea Green here so that I'm making that pattern. Remember a pattern that we learned earlier, an A-B pattern. It goes A, B, A, B, A, B. So this is kind of like the B part of my pattern. The A would be Robin's Egg Blue, and the B is going to be my Seafoam Green. So we've got to keep that going. A, B, so now we go back to A. So you never want your A color or your first color touching side by side. They can touch in the corner. I'm going to show you that in just a second. You can kind of see here. See where red will touch the other red, but only in the corner. They never touch along the sides. It'll go A, B, A, B, all the way across. So that's what we're going to keep going inside our heart and doing. So again, you can kind of start anywhere you want. You could have started at the top. You could have started at the bottom. And as long as you're not coloring, you only have 2 colors. You shouldn't have any more than 2 colors for inside your shape. You're going to make your A-B pattern going either direction. It's going to work out both ways. So I have A, B, A, B. So I have blue, green, blue, green. This little section. Now when we do the next row, this is where we don't want to accidentally make stripes. So my pattern should be the opposite. It should go the other way in this row, right? It shouldn't go blue, green, because then we'd be making stripes. We're going to go the opposite. So we have green first, which means the next box inside my heart. the next box is going to be blue. So I've got my robin's egg blue going in right here. And I'm only coloring in that box. And it may be, if this is really difficult, because this is one of those projects that can be really hard for some and really easy for others, it just depends. It may be that you might have whoever you're with kind of make a mark to help you know what color goes in what box. If you were in my classroom, that would definitely be something I would kind of help you with, to remember what color comes next and where. It's a lot to think about while you're working on this. I gotta get my little edges in here first. There we go. Notice I didn't do the middle because that's outside of my black line. It's outside of my heart. So that's going to be part of my background. Some of those little small spaces, it's hard. So again, I've got green, blue, green, blue. So I know this one's blue. So we're going to keep the patterns going. So it should be every other color in every other box. So if I have blue here and green here, then this next to green is going to be blue. Only inside my shape. So green, oh sorry, blue, green, blue, and this tiny little sliver is going to be green. Remember, it's okay because they touch in the corner, but nowhere else. They can't touch along the sides. And you're going to see this pattern, this checkerboard pattern, start to show up. Tiny little section down here. And then it looks like if this is green, this little part needs to be blue. So now that I've got this part done inside my heart, now what I can do is I'm going to put those colors away. What else did I grab? Periwinkle and orchid. Let me make sure those colors work. Okay, they don't look too similar, so I'm going to use these. So now I'm going to start doing this across the top of my page in the same kind of pattern. So what I would do is I would maybe do a little scribble with periwinkle. And the next one, orchid. Periwinkle, orchid. So I'm making that A, B, A, B pattern, right? So now if I've got periwinkle here, now I've got to have orchid go this way. So periwinkle, orchid. Periwinkle, orchid. Periwinkle, orchid. So now that I've gone across the top, and then I started over and I went down the bottom, now it should be pretty obvious what colors go in the other boxes. If I have orchid, orchid, then I know this is the other color. So you can kind of tell that way. And again, if this part is just way too hard, you can always have an adult that is with you kind of do what I'm doing and scribble these colors in for you. It does get rather tricky. That's not cheating. Sometimes we just need a little bit of help. Sometimes it's easier for some and harder for others. So there's no harm in getting a little bit of help so that you do it right. So now that I know what color goes in which box, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to add my color. So I'm going to pause it while I color in all the boxes. All right, guys, so here is my finished piece. Over here on the right, this is the one that we started with today as the example. So you can use whatever colors you want. You don't have to make them similar outside and inside. I did that just, like I said, I just kind of grabbed stuff out. I kind of grabbed crayons out of my box, but you can use whatever 4 colors you'd like. If you need help from whoever your people are to kind of help you mark the boxes so that you can see the pattern while you're coloring it in, that's okay. This is a really hard concept, but we've done it year after year after year. and they always turn out really, really pretty. If you want, after you have all the color, to go back over your lines with the black, kind of like how you did on your heart, you can do that, but I would save it for the very last step, and here's why. I like having that stark border where your heart starts and stops, so that it's easier to know what colors go inside and what colors go outside for your background. So if you do the black on the vertical and horizontal lines before you start coloring, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So that's what it'll look like in the end. So good luck, guys. I can't wait to see your finished work.